Right? Next one, celebration. Nice. Tacos and burritos. All right, basically, we're gonna do this next. Okay, the days of the week. They go hand in hand with. Oh, oh, go by quickly, isn't it? Having fun. The days of the week. Practice in Spanish. Días de. Yes. Días de la semana. Two inches. Días de la semana. You think capitalize the days of the week. No, we don't. So again, Spanish. Spanish days of the week are not
Alexa, turn the media center on. Alexa, turn on the media center.
on Sunday. Okay. So a little different than the English calendars. Don't capitalize the days of the week, and it starts on Monday. So I had a question on the quiz that said, when does the Spanish calendar start? And I have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. What answer would you think? So here's the Saturday and Sunday are. Ready? Let's get these days of the week. All right, Sunday in Espanol is domingo. We are not gonna have any comments on these, okay? Monday is lunes. Wednesday is get for this, don't forget your accent on that. Get. This. There. Sábado. Kind of looks like Saturday. But like I said, no problems. Now, if I said on the quiz, I said, what day is today? It's class, right? What day is today? And I had sábado, domingo, or martes. Well, martes, okay. See how that's what you set up? So multiply, feed people and food, right? So that's steady. All right, let's go to our seasons. Last page. Yeah, we'll do that next. So, we have our word name here. I want you to put this up at the top. Estaciones. And that means seasons. Estaciones.
Hey, how are you? Did you have a good summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Glad to hear it. Excellent news.
Where are Lewis and Darcy?
They aren't coming back. They're trying a hybrid this year. They bounce around.
Uh,
Like they were here, then they tried a hybrid, then they were here, now I'm trying a hybrid. Whatever works.
Was last year lesson one in person or online?
Last year lesson one was online.
Online.
Yeah, totally. Cause I had to, I think it was, I don't remember why. Was it because I took Cole to college? It might have been. I think it might have been because I was taking Cole to college. He can take himself this year. Thank you very much. I don't need to worry about it. He won't even let me shop for him, so it's all good.
Am I the only returning junior here?
You are the only returning junior here. Yep.
Besides Lewis and Darcy.
Yep.
Invierno es winter. Verano is
Okay.
and what do you think fall is? Otoño.
Try to do this real quick. Maybe.
Who retired last year? Like
If I
Bailey?
Oh, you mean who, like, yeah, Bailey was the only one who moved on to college. Yep. She hasn't left yet. I think she leaves either the end of this week, I think the end of this week is when she leaves to go. So EJ and her brother Alex will still be. Alex is doing college, but he's not living in a dorm. He's living at home. Bailey's twin brother. So Yeah, so he'll still be around. Mm-hmm,
PJ comes, does PJ? still do-
she'll be here, yes.
I'm Zen.
Hey, how was your summer?
Oh, it was kind of mid.
You got mid, okay, you got tall.
I did.
Thank
But
you, grew
the
into yourself.
shoes.
Oh, you blaming your shoes? It was kind of mid, why was it kind of mid?
Because I early started my APs, so it's kind of.
What AP are you doing?
I have, I tried 6, but I just like, never mind, I was going to say.
So wait, no, what now? What AP class are you doing?
AP Human Geography
Okay.
and Psychology with my friend who's in 10th grade.
Yeah,
Who was in 9th grade, he got both of them 5, so I asked him how he did it.
right,
And AP Environmental Science, my mom's teaching me, and the one I begged my mom not to put me with an AP Physics one, but she did.
so you're doing environmental science and physics and chemistry this year?
I kept Human Geography and Psychology.
But you're doing 2 AP social studies and 3 AP science?
No, total 4.
Oh, yeah, oh, okay. 2 AP science, 2 AP social studies, and 1 regular science. Yeah. What are you doing for ELA? That's the only thing you missed. Are you doing English?
ELA, yeah, I'm going to school.
You want to know where?
I'm going to my school, my local.
Oh, are you doing Dexter Mosley?
Yeah.
Oh, so are you doing an activity there too?
Huh?
Are you doing an activity there too, or just a class?
I'm going basketball and chess.
There you go. Excellent. Well, that's cool. I think you're the only one I've personally known yet who's done that. So
Oh, no,
that's
last
cool.
year, and first time I think someone went to acting,
Oh, Lily did, but she left. Like she didn't stay in this class. So you're the first person I know that's like that in contact with, I mean, because I'm curious to see how that goes. So. Hey, how are you? And over here. That's Spanish. You're learning joint Spanish.
Oh.
No, I already know some Spanish, thank you.
Fun.
Yeah, yes.
Fun.
John, no, like in general.
Just walk right, you don't even come in.
Okay.
And take whatever I want. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And so when we come back, same thing, just kind of pull up,
Yep.
come out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yes. So you're Lucy, right? Hi, Lucy, I'm Miss Danny. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. I was gonna say, you're the only one I haven't met yet, so nice to meet you.
Hi, Miss Danny.
Yes.
Could I like someday be in a video or something?
You're gonna be in a lot of them. It's all good. Well, come on in, everybody.
So if I'm remembering right, like you have like a public channel and a private channel.
I do, yep.
There's actually a show called Lab Rats.
Yes, there is. Perfect. Look at you, you got it. Very good.
I found your favorite composer, Stefan Sondheim.
Stephen Sondheim, yes. Stephen Sondheim, the man is amazing. Absolutely favorite.
The work you didn't name is Passion.
Yeah, there's a bunch I didn't name, so you could pick one of the many.
Name some other work.
Yeah, he has a huge body of work, so it should be easy to find something.
I personally found it by doing the lesson, but then I thought it'd be interesting if I asked Gemini to review the video, and it's not correct. It said
Did
Stephen
it?
Sondheim, and
Really?
and it showed me follies.
Wow.
It said your teacher has said Williams College, and it listed all the things he said.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, I used it
Second.
to like have like a 2-hour science video. I like say summarize this video and then summarize this report.
That's incredible.
Where's the coloring page?
So if you're looking for Rico, I'll show you where to find him. So send your lessons in right here. Flip to the back where you have your homework. Boom, there it is.
I tried to those are like I tried to make those like my novels and like that was supposed to be like
You're gonna take it
a
now?
white shirt and I was supposed to be like a card set.
Matt, all right, pump him out.
Uh,
All right, pump this
I
one.
tried to go.
Okay, so where you go is you put that over there on that chest, there's two folders, find the one that says junior and the side that says Rico and pop it right in. Awesome. There you go. Very good. Yeah, I've been a big Stephen Sondheim fan since I was like, I don't know, seventh grade, eighth grade, probably. And last year I got my big time wish and I got to go see my all-time favorite ever show. So, and it was on a whim too, because like we we had not planned it, but it just happened my husband was gonna be in New York and it just so happened the show was running and we had enough sky miles, we could do it, and I'm like, let's just do it, because we weren't in a position to be like, let's do a vacation right now, but I knew it was, if I didn't do it then, I wasn't gonna get to do it, so we went.
Last year, Howard knew like your favorite movie was the Goonies movie. Like in the comments, they're like,
Yeah,
"This Danny's favorite movie is the Goonies movie," and I'm like, "Hey, let's try this out."
yeah. So if you guys got through, I think most of you guys got through lesson one, but if you got, the video, right? Then you saw that I was dropping hints the whole time for something, and I do that on purpose because that means you have to watch the whole video and pay attention. Because especially the part about name something I didn't name, well, you don't know what I've named if you haven't watched the whole thing. Like even if you found out who the composer was, you had to listen to make sure.
I listened to it, and you were like, "What's this question?" And you're like, "Watch the
Watch the video.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay, let's watch it every second."
Yeah. All right. Well, there's some new people here. We're a couple minutes early, but everybody's here. So why don't we start by introducing ourselves? So I'm Miss Danny. I think I've met everybody before except Lucy. Lucy today, but I've had Lucy's brother for 2 years, 3 years, 2-3 years now. Yeah, a while. So, all right, right here in the chair, Madam Annabelle.
What?
Could you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Annabelle and
Like, how old are you?
I'm 10 and I recently my dog Katie passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What kind of dog was she?
She was like a border collie mix, like she had like this little white paw, like she was like 15 and a half, so she lived a good life and like she used to be able to catch rabbits and birds and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's sad. I'm sorry to hear that, but we don't deserve dogs, they all outlive us, and we outlive them and we don't deserve dogs. But you know what I've heard, they say your dog is your best friend for however many years you have them. So that's your best friend for 10 years of your life, for 15 years of your life, but you're their best friend for their whole life. So that's pretty cool. All right, would you introduce yourself?
I'm 9 years old.
Excellent. And you are? And they are sister twins? Yes, right, okay. And you're?
I'm Lucy. I'm 9, and I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs,
They're
all right.
Barks.
Oh, I believe it. And you are?
I'm Eunice.
And you are how old?
11.
11, there we go. Let's do this. We have a little extra time. I want you to think for a minute. Do you know how to play 2 truths and a lie?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna play one round of 2 truths. Okay, so here's how you play it. You come up with 3 facts about yourself, but one of them is a lie.
Oh yeah.
And you don't tell anybody which one's the lie. So what you do is you just real quick, you want to do it quickly because we don't want it to take like forever. But you real quick want to say, like, for example, let me think real quick.
Wait, didn't we do this last year?
Yeah, we do it a lot. It helps you get to know people. Okay. I will say, all right. Here are my 3 facts. All right, what we're gonna do is I'll give my 3 facts, then everybody will go around and give their 3 facts, and then you'll come back to me and you guys will vote on which one is the lie and which one is the truth. So you have to remember, actually, let's do it one at a time, because otherwise we have to remember too much. I'll do my 3, and then you guys will vote which one is the lie, okay? And then we'll do that for everybody else. Yeah, it's faster. We'll do it that way. All right, so my 3 facts. I used to play clarinet. I used to play piano, and I used to play trombone.
Trombone.
Okay, so which one is the lie? Who votes clarinet? Who votes piano? But my boys play. Who votes trombone? Trombone's the lie. There you go. All right, excellent. All right, Annabelle, you want to go?
Okay, let me think, yeah, okay. My name is Aaron. And though I love chocolate, and I love the split, and I love like all things Splatoon. And
You like Splatoon?
yeah, like Splatoon 1, 2, and 3.
Next week I can give you some pictures that I have of Splatoon characters.
Excellent.
Okay, and also, my when you walk into my bedroom, it's full. It's completely full of stuffies.
Stuffies.
Me too.
Okay, so is it Stuffies, Splatoon, or chocolate? Which one's the lie? Who votes for Stuffies is the lie? Who votes for Splatoon is the lie? How about chocolate? I vote chocolate. Which is it?
It was the stuffy thing. Like I have like six stuffies, but
Yeah,
it's not like enough to fill up my whole.
not enough to fill up the whole room. All right, Everly, how about you?
If I really answer mine, she already knows everything about me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so she can't answer for you and you can't answer for her. All right, Everly, you want to go?
I used to play guitar.
Okay.
My favorite school subject is art,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't play any instruments.
Oh, okay. So guitar, art, and no instruments, right? All right, who votes for guitar? Who votes for art? Who votes for no instruments? Okay.
Yeah.
Which one was it? Which one's the lie? The third one, what do you play now?
Piano.
Yeah, like,
girl.
I've known
And I do voice.
Excellent.
them
Very
for a
good.
year. I know they sing and like play a bunch of instruments. So like I knew that one was the lie.
Okay. All right, Emerson?
I play 4 instruments.
Okay,
I have 3 computers,
okay.
and I have a phone.
A phone. Okay. 4 instruments, computers, phone. Who votes for instruments? Who votes for 4 computers?
3, she said.
Oh, 3 computers? 3, sorry, 3 computers. Yes, sir. And who votes for phone? I vote for phone.
Definitely.
Which is it?
I don't have a phone.
Don't have a phone. All right. All right, Miss Lucy, you're up.
Okay, this is hard. I'm not good at this game.
It's a challenge, isn't it?
I'm good at lying, but it's art is my favorite school subject.
Okay.
I like touching bugs,
Okay.
and I really like history.
Okay. So art, bugs, history. Who votes for art as the lie? How about bugs? How about history? Which is it?
It's the bug.
Is the bug?
I hate touching bugs.
Oh.
Even actually butterflies. I
Oh
hate
my
butterflies even
goodness.
touching me, and ladybugs.
Skeezes you out, huh?
Uh-huh.
Excellent. All right.
This.
Eunice, what do you
Math
got?
is my favorite subject.
Okay.
I love drawing,
Okay.
and I have 2 tablets.
He has 2 tablets. Okay. Math, drawing, 2 tablets. Who votes for math? How about drawing? How about 2 tablets? Which is it?
I hate drawing.
Oh.
I don't like it. It's so good. You can put anything that you think of on a piece of paper.
That's true. All right, so we're ready to start. So I have a handful of coins. So how this works is as we go along, there are going to be little blanks. And when you see a blank, if you think you know the answer, pop your hand up. I'll call on you. I want everybody to go at least once. If you get it, get your answer, even if you don't get it right, even if you just try, you get a coin in your little bin. And then at the end of class, after lab, you come up here, you take your coins to the candy machine at the front door, and you just crank out some
Is it
candy.
jelly beans?
It's Skittles right now. That's everybody's favorite. Excellent.
Skittles.
Not a fan?
My favorite circle candy is probably either lollipops
Ah.
or M&Ms.
M&Ms. All right, well, let's roll. Let's do this. Okay, so we're going to start. This is a review of the lesson you already did. So what is science? All right, so As the lesson said, Google defines science like this: intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study and structure and behavior of physical and natural world through observation and experiment. So how do we define intellectual? Okay, Eunice.
Mental.
Mental is right. All right. And how did we define practical? Does anybody have that? Should be in your notes. You got it, Emerson? Hands-on. Very good. All right. And then how do we define encompassing? Anybody know? You want to go again, Emerson? Surrounding. All right. How about systematic? All right. Oh, Everly. Organized. All right. And structure.
Construction.
Annabelle. Yeah. Be sure you wait till I call you so everybody gets a chance. Good job. All right. And behavior, Eunice.
Actions.
Actions. Very good. And physical. How do we do physical? Eunice, you want to go again?
Touchable.
Touchable. All right. And how about natural? Ooh, Everly.
Real.
Real. And observation. Oh, Lucy. Do you remember? Look.
It's millennium.
Oh, you didn't do it yet?
I
Okay.
was rushing yesterday.
That's okay. I get it. You'll catch up to it. All right. Everly.
Watching.
Watching. And remember, observation is using any of your senses. So it can be smelling, seeing, touching, all that, right? Watching is just kind of like the easiest one. And last one, experiment. Emerson.
Testing.
Testing. Very good. All right. So that makes our new sentence: the mental and hands-on activities surrounding the organized study of the construction and actions of the touchable and real world through watching and testing. Watching, listening, smelling, touching, all the above. Or more simply, the study of the natural world through knowledge that we already have about the natural world that's based on facts learned through observation and experiment. Very good. All right, so we have three main branches in science. Does anybody know what the first one is that has math, logic, and statistics? Eunice?
Formal science.
Those are the formal sciences, right? And how about the middle one here that has physical and life, Annabelle?
Okay, I'm just saying, like, that telephone thingy, like, if you, like, know about Splatoon 2's octo expansion, that
Yeah.
telephone looks like Commander Tartar.
Okay,
Right.
so one thing we want to be sure, that's good observation, that's a good observation, but one thing we want to try to do is we want to try and keep ourselves focused on what we're doing here, because otherwise we go off the rails and we totally lose. That's actually an intercom, just so you know, like you'd use in a hotel or an office. All right, so Emerson, what's this next one here?
Natural science.
Natural sciences, very good. And then what's the last one that has societies and human behavior? Do you want to guess? Biology is going to fall under life sciences. These are all types of biology. Do you know what it's called when you talk about, here, Lucy, so when you, okay, I'll give you a hint. Do you remember back in COVID, you had to keep 6 feet between you and somebody else? They called it something distancing. Do you remember what they called it? It also is a subject in school where you learn a lot about history. It's something studies. Starts with an S. It can mean like, oh, there's another thing too. Facebook, Instagram are all types of what media?
Social.
There you go. Social sciences. That a girl, Lucy, you got your first coin. All right. So what's going to go in this blank here under natural sciences? What are we missing? Annabelle?
Chemistry.
Chemistry goes there. Very good. All right. So you can see natural science is physical science and life science, and physical sciences break down largely into these categories. Life science is biology. Life, biology, study of. So study of life. We're going to do a lot of things this year, especially when we get into, we do it in chemistry, but we do it a lot in biology and in earth science and stuff, where we learn these Greek and Latin roots and suffixes and prefixes that if you know what they mean, you can break down the word. Here's an example. Ology means to study. What do you find in a zoo?
Zoology.
Yeah, zoology, but what lives in a zoo?
Animals.
Animals. So what you have there is the study of animals, zoology. So if you were doing zoology, you would not be studying plants. You would be studying animals, right? So once you start to learn what all of these Greek and Latin roots mean and prefixes and suffixes and whatnot, it really helps you to understand what a word means, even if you've never seen the word before. All right, so now let's talk about what are our big ideas in chemistry. So our big ideas in chemistry, what do you think these little guys are here? Everly? Atoms, all right, atoms are number one there. And then how about over here with the bubbles? What's this gonna be, Eunice?
Tubes.
Test tubes? Yeah, but what are we doing there? What do you think that stands for?
A chemical reaction.
There you go, chemical reactions, very good. And then Annabelle, what's this last one?
Molecules.
Molecules, kind of close. Molecules are made that way, but what are we looking for, Emerson? Chemical bonding. All right, that's what we're looking for. All right, these are our big ideas in chemistry. This is what we're going to be going over a lot this year. These are our big ideas. All right, so now let's talk about theory versus law. Now, you guys saw this in your lesson, hopefully, and this is a big one. This is one to take with you for the rest of your life, no matter what science you're in, and even if you're not in science. All right, so here's what it is. When studying science, there's a difference between a theory and a law. So what's the difference? A law tells, Everly, what happens, a fact. A theory tells why it happens, an explanation. Okay. Why is this so important to understand? So let's think about it for a minute. A law is what happens. If I drop this penny, what will happen?
The gravity will pull it to the
It's going to fall, right? That's what. What? If I drop it, it will fall. So we would call that the law of gravity. Okay, but why does it fall? Do you know? Because gravity's pulling it. Yeah. And we could get really deep into that. Yeah.
And without gravity, like our body like would be.
Oh yeah, it would be no good.
Like,
We'd be all over the place.
gravity like just
Right.
keeps our bodies held together.
So it's like, why does it happen? Okay, so there's a theory, a gravitational theory that talks about why it happens, and it has to do with the fact that the center of the Earth has much higher mass than where we are now, and it's spinning, and all this others, there's rotation involved, and all of this business is what the explanation for why, if you let the penny go, it will fall. All right, so in this class, we're gonna study what as far as these go, Emerson? And scientific theory. So we're going to study both. All right, now here's the thing to remember. There are multiple theories about things. There aren't all scientific theories. So the best one is the origin theory. Okay, science has an origin theory. Most religions have an origin theory. A lot of cultures have other origin theories. What do you mean by it? What do I mean by origin theory? Does anybody know what that means? Do you know?
Like that, like God created the world.
Yes, origin.
Like,
How the heck did we get here, right? Where did I originate from? Where did we originate from? So there are many theories about this. Now there are like the big Abrahamic faiths have their genesis. So like Islam, Judaism, Christianity have their main like Genesis theory, right? Like if you've ever read the Bible or anything, you know that that's there. And then there's also theories like different Native American tribes, for example. I can't remember what tribe it is, but there's one that has this great origin theory story about mud and all things being formed as like living forms coming from the mud, right? And that's really interesting. They're all different. But science is what we're doing in here. So even if you don't personally believe, for example, like in biology, when we talk about natural selection and evolution, like even if you don't personally believe that's true, as far as the class is concerned, that's the answer you give. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, great. So that's what we talk about in this class. So different people have different personal and religious beliefs. So it's safe to assume that all questions and answers in this class are prefaced. That means like this comes before it, with sort of an unvoiced according to scientific theory rather than I personally believe that. So even if you don't personally believe it, still the way you answer for class. All right, so now why is measurement important? Now you're back to do a whole lesson on why measurement's important. And this is because I'll tell you guys, so your lessons align with the Lab Rats lessons, but yours move at a much slower pace and they don't go as nearly in depth because the chemistry stuff that the high school group is doing is like really involved compared to what you'll be doing. You'll be doing it in lab, which is great because you're going to get a taste of it, but you're not going to be responsible for some of the like really complex, mathy, in-depth, more high school level stuff. So you're going to do a whole lesson this coming week on measuring. And that's going to be very important because dudes, lab is a lot of measuring. You're going to be doing a lot of measuring this year. And we're talking about measuring that's real specific. So data collection, okay? Data collection is getting all your information you get from lab. Who paid attention to the Olympics at all? Okay, yep.
I loved it.
All right, and who paid attention? Did anybody pay attention to the women's gymnastics floor routine finals?
Me again.
Do you remember what happened at the end that was so surprising?
Which team?
Well, kind of to everybody. So here's what happened. So here's my measurement. Yeah, here's why measurement is a great contemporary answer of why measurement is important. Okay, so we had a Romanian gymnast and an American gymnast. The Romanian was second to last, the American was last, okay? They both competed and the American score came in below, okay, below the Romanians, which meant the Romanian gymnast got the bronze medal. We were competing for the third place, all right? Then the Americans said, hold on. We are going to have an inquiry on the score because we think you basically measured her routine wrong. So they said, nope, stop the clock, inquire. Well, turns out they did measure her routine wrong. She had a skill that they had scored it lower than it was supposed to be. So they measured it wrong. So when they corrected the measurement, now she got the bronze medal. Now have you seen what happened since then?
Suni Lee got the bronze.
No, Jordan Childs got the bronze. Jordan got the bronze, and Anna, who's the Romanian girl, got booted out of third place. Well, then the Romanian said, no, we are contesting this. And then they said, you didn't get the inquiry in time. You have to give it in within 60 seconds, and you got it in within 64 seconds. So then the Olympic Committee said, oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, so it was late. So we're going to take Jordan's bronze medal away and give it to the Romanian girl, Anna. And then USA Gymnastics said, no, we're going to contest this and put forth video evidence that said, no, we got it in at 47 seconds and 55 seconds, not 64 seconds. And do you know what the Olympic Committee said after that? Well, sorry, but we're not going to reconsider it again. But see, so measurement matters, data matters. You have to be exact, because in this case, there's a bronze medal on the line. And I don't know if y'all know this, but those things are worth like tens of thousands of dollars. Like it's a lot of money. It's a lot of prestige, right? So here's some other things we're going to measure. What do you think he's measuring here? What would you use a tape measure for?
Like
Everly?
length.
Length. Very good. All right. And what do you think he would be measuring here? What might he be doing? He's lifting something. Mass. Very good. So what is mass? Mass is how much matter, how much stuff there is in you, right? Does your mass change based on where you are? Your mass is always going to be the same. How about your weight?
It's gonna change.
Your weight's going to change based on what we talked about before, the theory of gravity, right? Gravity is going to affect your weight. So what's this one then? If that's mass, then what's this?
Wait.
Emerson? Weight. Yeah, you got it. All right. So weight is gravity's effect on your mass. So at sea level, this little chunky rat is going to be the heaviest she's ever going to be. If she goes up into space, she's not going to weigh as much, but her mass is not going to change. I like it. She's got the funniest little belly piercing I've ever seen. All right. So what is this? When you're covering something flat, Eunice?
Area.
Area. Very good. This is area. Okay. So area, if you've done it in math, how do you find the area?
You multiply the length and the width.
Yep. Length times width is area. If I want to tile the floor, I'm going to measure it this way, and I know how many square feet, meters, yards, whatever, right? All right. And then what is it when you are like filling a bucket? What are you measuring? Annabelle? Not sure?
Volume.
Volume. Very good. So volume is going to be like length times width times height if you're doing a cube. But if you're doing something like a cylinder, it gets a little trickier. But volume is how much space matter is taking up, right? All right. And what is this one, do you think? What's a buoy do? Do you know?
Density.
Density. Why is this density?
Because
It's a buoy. What's a buoy do?
wait. It pushes.
It floats.
Yeah.
Well, why does it float?
Because of the buoyancy.
It's buoyancy because it's less dense than what?
The water.
The water. Very good. It's less dense than the water. It floats. What do you think he's measuring? Everly?
Time.
Time. Very good. All right. And how about this one? What's the last one? Annabelle? Temperature. Very good. All right. So in science, we use the metric system. Now, you guys are probably used to what we call imperial, standard, or customary. It has a bunch of names. but it's the one where you're like inches, feet, miles, cups, tablespoons, gallons, right? You ever tried to convert a recipe, like even like double a recipe or reduce a recipe? It can be, or divide a recipe. It can be tricky because you're like, well, now I'm taking cups. Now I need to convert cups to tablespoons, and it's like, ugh. But metric is so easy because it's just base 10. So if you haven't used it before, it might feel a little weird, but in the end, it's so much easier because everything's just either divided or multiplied by 10. So we remember it by saying King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. The unusually we'll get to in a minute.
It was
But
probably poison.
yeah, there you go. But if it's 10 times 10 times 10, or if that's 1,000 times larger than where you started, this is the starting point. What's the prefix for what goes with king? What's the prefix here? Does anybody know? Do you know, Annabelle?
Unit.
No, unit's gonna be the middle one. What goes here? Do you know?
Kilo,
Kilo. Okay. You've probably heard kilo.
kilo.
Kilometer is probably your most common one. Or kilogram. Yep. So what is the H for? Emerson. Do you know? She's looking. Do you know? Don't know? Can't find it? Yeah, she's looking. Hecto. Very good. Hecto. So sometimes you'll hear hectare and it's like, it's kind of like it's area. It's sort of like how we would say acre. But hecto's a good one, important one. You don't hear it as much in like common speak though. All right, and what's the D? What's the dyed here gonna be, Lucy?
Deca.
Deca, very good. Deca, 10 times, okay. And then the U is the one that's unit, okay. Sometimes people put an M here. People used to say King Henry died Monday drinking chocolate milk, but Monday is for meter, but it's not just for meter, it's liter, gram, unit. So that's where the weird word unusually comes from. Because it's not usual to die drinking chocolate milk. I'd be in trouble. I'd be gone.
Poison, but-
I'd be long gone. Yeah, I could be. You never know. And what's this D for on this side? Do you know, Eunice?
Deca, deci.
Deci. So deca is bigger. Deci is smaller. What's the C for? Lucy.
Centi.
Centi. All right. 10 times 10 or 100 times more. And then what's the M? Emerson. Milli, right? Okay, milli. So you've heard centi, probably centimeter is the most common one you've heard, or centigram maybe, and millimeter, right? All right. How about a centipede? How many legs does a centipede have according to the word? 100 legs according to the word centipede. Is that accurate? Maybe not, but that's the idea. How about a millipede? 1,000 legs, right? Okay, so there you go. Pede, P-E-D, ped, foot. So 100 feet, 100 little feet, yeah, there you go. Centipede. All right, so moving on from there. All right, well, this guy right here, how do you present scientific data? Okay, so data is plural, okay? Singular is datum. If you only have one bit of information you're getting, it's a datum. Otherwise, it's data. That's your plural. Are the information gained and from observing and testing an experiment. Scientists use data to gain understanding and make conclusions. Data can be presented as charts, graphs, tables, and sometimes using scientific notation, which we will be doing in lab. So what's a hypothesis? Okay, it's a what that can be what, Annabelle?
It's an idea or theory that can be tested.
An idea that can be tested is a good way to put it. Yep. There's other ways to put it, but that's a good way. So in order for it to considered, it must be possible to be what? Everly? Yep, supported and repeatable, or what? Or rejected. Okay. We don't use the words true or false necessarily for hypothesis. We try not to do that. We try to say supported and rejected or supported and unsupported because it's just a more accurate way of doing it. All right. And it has to be repeatable because if it's not repeatable, then it could just be a fluke, right? You have to be able to repeat and get your same results. So in lab, we have 4 teams. That's how we repeat. Instead of everybody running the lab 4 times, every team runs the lab 1 time and we have 4 sets of results. That's our repetition, okay? So what is scientific method? Okay, to test a hypothesis we use, well, I just said it, scientific method to conduct what? Controlled experiment. Okay, this is important. In the video, I talked to you guys about what if you have a headache and you're trying to figure out how to make your headache better, and you take Tylenol, you lay in a dark room and you put a cold washcloth on your head. That's too much. How are you going to know what made it better? It's one thing at a time.
Change one thing.
Yeah, you change one thing, only one thing. And that is going to be a variable, and we call it your controlled variable. So if you look at this flow chart here, scientific method is not a step by step by step by step. It flexes and it bends, and it allows you it allows you the opportunity to stop, consider where you are and go, should I continue down this path, or should I maybe change my direction? Do I need to rewrite my hypothesis? Do I need to change my procedure? So one of the things I did when I was in college is I did an independent research project my senior year, and it involved some rats. And it involved giving them a particular medication, and I expected a particular result. And my plan was to give these rats this particular medication in peanut butter. Like just crush the pill up, stir it up, put it in the peanut butter and give it to them. Well, I gave them too much peanut butter. They wouldn't finish it. And I had to stop and be like, okay, now I have to change my procedure and my methods. I got to go back and give them less peanut butter. I have to not feed them for 12 hours before I give them the peanut because they don't want a whole thing. That's how it works. You got to stop and go, am I doing this right? Is this the best way? That's the whole point. So what are variables? So in a controlled experiment, it's an experiment in which only one variable, the independent variable, is changed at a time. And your controlled variables are everything that you're keeping the same. I think I said that backwards a minute ago. But anyway, so what's the variable that you change?
Independent.
Independent. We also call it, there's another word for it. Remember what the other word? Manipulated. Okay, so sometimes you'll hear it say manipulated. To manipulate means to, like, what's manipulated? Somebody define that. What's it mean to manipulate something? It's like to change or so you can manipulate, say you had some Play-Doh, you could manipulate the Play-Doh, you could change it, right? You can also manipulate a person. You can manipulate your mom maybe into doing what you want her to do, change her actions by her behavior. Yeah. Yeah.
You do chores.
Yeah, you can manipulate your mom. See, some people, they call people like that manipulative people, right? Okay. So that is going to be your independent, meaning it stands alone, or manipulated variable. And then what are the variables that you observe being changed, Emerson? Those are dependent, because what happens to them depends upon everything else. It's also called what? Do you remember? Manipulated.
Manipulated and what? Dependent is manipulated. Oh wait. I just.
It might be in your binder, is it?
No,
It's not?
It was in my physical science binder.
Yeah, it was in your physical science binder.
Manipulated and
Now I'm not remembering it either. I remembered it 2 seconds ago, it just left my head. Anyway, dependent. In this class, we usually say independent, dependent. It's kind of the way we do it. And then what's the one you keep the same, Everly? The one you keep the same is controlled, right? Okay, so you are not changing that. Okay, and usually there's more than one controlled variable. Usually there's one independent variable.
what is dependent responding?
There, you're responding. There it is. I knew it was an R. I'm like, what's the R? Because it responds. Yes. Okay, and then controlled is what you keep the same. And usually controlled is going to be lots of things. And it's usually your controls not being kept as controls that mess up an experiment. If an experiment goes wrong, it's usually a problem with the controls. Something's different. So like, for example, say you're trying to see how long it takes seeds to germinate, and everybody takes the seeds home, and everybody's supposed to keep them in a container with a wet paper towel. What are some things that aren't being controlled? So you're controlling for the container, you're controlling for the wet paper towel, you're controlling for, say, five sunflower seeds. Okay. What are some things that you're not controlling for that might influence it? The what?
It's germinating.
Yeah, when it's germinating that's going to be your dependent. That's going to be what you observe. That's what's happening. But things like the temperature of the room, whether somebody placed it in the sun or not, all that's going to matter, right? All of those things are going to impact what you get. So your independent variable is what you change, your dependent variable is what happens, what you observe, and your controlled variable is what you keep the same. All right, so settled science. This is another take it for the rest of your life thing. All right, so you're going to hear people all the time, especially in an election cycle. I don't know why, but it always shows up. But you're going to hear people say the science is settled, and that is wrong. Anybody ever tells you the science is settled, you know they don't know what they're saying. And you hear this a lot, especially anything that's like has a like political drive behind it. So like we heard the science is settled a lot in COVID. We hear the science is settled a lot with climate change. We hear the science is settled with vaccines. Anything that people get controversy over, somebody will end the argument with going, no, the science on this is settled. And even if there is massive amounts of data to support your conclusion, it's still not settled. It's never settled because there used to be massive amounts of data that proved that the earth was flat. Is the earth flat?
No,
No, and we know that now.
by science.
Right,
now.
right, right.
Back
But
then,
back then,
people still believe that
Right.
it's flat.
so here's, yeah, there's still some of those out there. So here's why science is never settled. Point number one is that it doesn't exist in a binary state. Binary means on, off, 1, 2, yes, no, that you have only two options. So there's not some imaginary line where you're like, it's unsettled, it's settled, it's unsettled. That's not how it works. It's not how science works. So it's never 100% settled. It also presumes, and this is where people get tricky. This happened a lot during COVID. There were a lot of things we knew a lot about in COVID, and there were a lot of things we didn't know a lot about in COVID. Just because you know a lot about one thing doesn't mean you know the same amount of a lot about everything else. And just because you don't know a lot about one thing doesn't mean you don't know the same amount of not a lot about everything else. So we have varying degrees of understanding in all different parts of science. So the thing to do is to remember to trust the process, not necessarily the person, but the process, right? Okay, so poor understanding in one area of science does not invalidate good understanding in another area or vice versa. And then lastly, and this is the big one, natural science, which remember was our physical and life sciences, is about narrowing uncertainty. Absolute proofs, those are your formal sciences. That is math. 2 + 2 is
4.
always, right? Is it ever not 4? If you have 2 eggs and 2 eggs and you put them together, you have 4 eggs. It's always, always. That's a formal science. And if I said, what's a good example of logic? A good example of logic would be like either Miss Danny or Annabelle likes donuts. Annabelle does not like donuts. Then who likes donuts? Miss Danny, because I said either Miss Danny or Annabelle likes donuts. Annabelle does not like donuts, so therefore Miss Danny likes donuts, right? But you probably do, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Right, me too. But see, that's a formal science. That's how formal sciences work. That's not how natural sciences work. Okay, to properly understand the question, is a science settled? An understanding of how science works is required. So no matter who says it, science is everybody together. Never settled. Very good. All right, who has a phone? Anybody have a phone? You have a tablet? Okay, if you have a tablet, we can play. If not, we can play without it too. All right, so if you have a phone or a tablet that you want to bring to class, sometimes this will pop up. Okay, it's called Mentimeter. And what it does is allows you.
Ask my dad if I
Okay, but if you don't have it today, it's no big deal. And it doesn't happen every week. It's just sometimes. So if you want to scan it, what it does is it takes you to a page where you get to answer a question. So we will just, instead of turning, I'm not going to turn it on then if nobody has their phone. So we want to know, is this a good hypothesis? If I water a plant every day, it will grow faster. Is this a good hypothesis or not a good hypothesis?
Okay.
Think about it. It has to be testable, repeatable, and it has to be either supported or rejected. So who votes for this being a good hypothesis? And who votes for it being a not good hypothesis? Okay, why do you think it's not a good hypothesis?
Because it can be supported.
It could be supported if you water it every day, right? If you water it every day, it'll grow faster. So how would you do this experiment? What would you need? You need a plant to water. What else do you need? Something to water the plant with. Faster is a comparison, right? Mhm.
Can I use the restroom?
Yes, of course.
Where is?
It by the front door, go right past the butterflies on the left. So if you're going to test this, you have to have a dependent variable, and then you have to have a control. What would your control be in an experiment like this? What would it be?
The plant?
Okay, so the plant you're watering,
Not the plant, the water,
the water, that's a control. What else?
the pot.
How am I gonna get faster? What am I comparing it to?
Like, if you water the plant, like, maybe, like, once ever.
Like once a week instead of once a day?
Yeah,
Okay, so what am I gonna need then? How am I gonna test that? I got a plant, water.
another plant.
Ah, that girl, I'm gonna need a second plant, right? I got one plant, I'm gonna water it every day. I got another plant, I'm gonna water it once a week. And my hypothesis is if I water that plant every day, it's gonna grow faster. Now I'm also gonna need to keep them in the same room, in front of the same window, with the same amount of light, at the same temperature. Those are all controls, right? Can I test it? Can I do this? Can I set this up? Yep. Can I repeat it?
Yeah.
I can get more plants and do it again. So is it a good hypothesis?
Yeah.
It is a good hypothesis. Often a good hypothesis is posed as if then. There's no then here, but it says if I water a plant, could you say then it will grow faster? Yeah, so there's your if then, okay? How about this one? Oatmeal is the best breakfast. Is this a good hypothesis or not a good hypothesis?
Not a good hypothesis.
Why isn't it a good hypothesis?
Because everyone has different opinions.
Ah, so it's about opinion, not data? Okay, and how would you test it?
Like
You would get a bunch of people and let them taste the oatmeal.
There's also a word in here that is giving it away as being a not good hypothesis.
or like a survey or something.
Yeah, what's the word that tells me this is not a good hypothesis? Anybody know what the word is? Oatmeal is the best breakfast. What's the word that's telling me, no, not gonna work?
The picture.
Not the picture, there's a word in that sentence. Best. Why, Everly?
Best.
Why is that not good? What's it mean to be best?
Right.
Yeah, are you gonna like it? Yeah, what does best mean? Best is not specific. Are we saying oatmeal is the breakfast that makes kids gain the most weight over time? Are we saying oatmeal is the breakfast that kids think is tastiest? What the heck does best mean? It's really nebulous, right? I could say Stephen Sondheim is the best. The best what? The best dude that went to Williams College? The best composer? Yeah, that was today. But you get one every week, so you got plenty of time.
Okay.
So yeah, best is no good. Best is, I don't know what best means. You gotta be specific. Best means nothing. All right, how about this one?
No, but like,
Adults can more accurately guess the temperature than children can. Think about it.
no,
Can you, is this an idea you can test?
Well, yes.
no.
Yes, how would you test it?
Yeah, like
You can call your dad.
and your
Mhm.
You
cousins.
can call your dad or your parents or an adult, and then so she would be in the adult category.
We can test it right now. I'm not looking. What's the temperature?
Around 73,
What's the temperature?
72,
Give it a guess, Emerson.
74,
74?
68.
68, Annabelle?
Like, yeah, like around like the higher 60s or like maybe like the early 70s
Okay.
or something.
I say 71. Oh, that's also because I live here and I know exactly how my house feels, but, so in this case, this hypothesis would have been supported, but doesn't have to be, right? But see, we just tested it. Could we repeat that? Could we come back 20 minutes from now and do it again?
It's a good hypothesis.
Could we also do it with a different adult and a different group of kids?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So this is a good hypothesis, right?
Um,
Can be tested. All right. How about this one? Butterflies prefer white flowers to orange flowers. Could we test this?
Yes.
Yeah, like you could get a bunch of butterflies
Yeah.
and like see which one like land up how like
Yeah.
which one is more covered up with butterflies.
Right. Okay. That's a way to test it. Anybody else have any other ideas how you could test it?
You just catch a butterfly and put it on a flower.
I have an idea of how to make it a better hypothesis. There's lots of species of butterflies. You could do this and just say all butterflies prefer white flowers to orange flowers. But what if you use,
Butterflies like all flowers.
what if you tested only monarch butterflies?
They would probably.
That would be a little more specific, right? Right. Okay, so there are ways, so there are ways to test this one. Could you repeat it?
Yes.
Okay, it's testable, it's repeatable. Could it be supported or rejected? Could we get results that could support that and say, yes, it's true, or no, no, I mean, yes, it's supported, or no, it's not? Yeah.
I mean, like, supported.
How about diabetes is caused by witchcraft?
No.
No, you can't test that.
My friend has diabetes.
How would you test this? How could you test it? What would you do?
You would almost kill someone.
Yeah. Well, how do you know when witchcraft is going on? If witchcraft is even real? I can do that.
That was
No.
offensive. I really like stories.
There you go. Yes. So there you go. So this one's not a good hypothesis.
This is a
Is it?
horrible hypothesis.
It would be really difficult to test, right? Really, really difficult.
Yeah.
All right. Now, good job today. Now, here's the thing. The way this works is lesson 1 is all of unit 1. We have a test at the end of every single unit. Okay. So you have now finished your first unit and you will have a test this week. Your tests are in Teacher Ease. They're online. They're usually limited to about an hour. Sometimes they're longer than an hour and you'll notice it because there'll be a little thing that tells you what your time limit is.
They actually. Well, I know you have the time limit. You just.
Yeah, don't say that. Anyway, so
And they're.
when we have tests, what I'm gonna do is anytime we have a unit test, I'm gonna put all the study topics on this little image, send this image out so you know, this is what I need to study. But for this one, it's only one lesson worth of stuff, so know it all. So what to do is go through your binder, go back to the video if you need to. Now this class right now is being recorded. Did you know that? We are being recorded right up there. And this will go, you will get a link every week. You get an email after class and there's always a link. And the link in the email will take you to this class recording on our private YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and watch this class, if that helps you study, you do whatever works for you. Everybody's going to study differently. Okay? Do what works for you.
Since my brother does this on my mom's
Mhm.
YouTube profile, she's subscribed to you.
Yes, it's a good thing to do to subscribe. So you've got that. So
Yes,
here's what you'll
subscribe
do
to
is you'll study. And when you feel like it, the test will open at noon today. So before you even leave here, the test will be available in Teacher Ease. All right. And then when you get home and you've studied and you feel like you're ready, you open the test and you take the test online. Now, remember, I mentioned this at the grill and chill, but Lucy, you weren't here, but your brother probably already knows this, but there are some questions.
My brother didn't go to the village.
Yeah, I know, but he's been around. He probably knows this part. There are some questions where you're gonna have to put in an answer. And some of them will auto grade. Like if it's multiple choice or true or false, the system will tell you if it's right or wrong immediately. Teacher Ease will tell you. But sometimes you have to,
Safety test.
there you go. But sometimes you have to write an actual answer. And when you have to write an actual answer,
Type it.
yeah, you could spell it differently, you could phrase it differently, and it's going to be marked wrong, okay? Because the system doesn't know what you're doing, okay? The system is just, it's a computer, it's only but so smart, right? It's gonna be marked wrong. Do not panic. I go over everybody's tests and anything that's wrong, I automatically correct and then change your score, okay? So when you see some marked wrong, no panic. It just is what it is, all right? And then you'll get your test results back immediately. Don't panic, not till I return it to you as it's its final grade. Okay, that's when you get your final grade. Does anybody have any questions about lesson 1, unit 1 test?
I don't have a question, but I need to tell you something. It's marked wrong, but I got the score.
Yeah, I go back and fix them. Don't worry, when I return it to you, that's your grade. Okay?
And it already said yours, mom, and Lucy would score.
Yes. Okay, so here's what you need to do now. What you're gonna need to do now is take the lab 1, out of your binder and have a pencil, close your binders up and put them in your bag or wherever so that they're out of the way and get lab 1 ready and we'll get everybody going. Yeah, we'll get lab teams in just a minute. We're gonna go through all that. Let me close this out.
Just this little, oh, there.
Yep. And we're closing.
Why is there a camera? What? I thought